family and all these other things, but I feel like sex is the topic of the discussion.
Right.
Well, yeah, I don't disagree with that. I mean, to say, I think we're all in agreement to say, is sex the most important thing? Absolutely not. But it is a very important thing because it's important to make sure that your significant other knows that, make her feel sexy still. Like she still turns you on. Like it's important that she knows that no matter what stage you're on in life, you could be 50, 60, still you still might slap her on the butt, so you be 60 years old, but just to know that she's still worthy to you. Like she still has some worth.
Worthy. That's
both
the word.
ways too, though.
Yeah, that.
If you got a pinky or a thumb or a nigga or just this, bro, you better say you got the biggest thing ever.
Right.
Lie to your nigga. Yeah. Make that nigga feel like he King Kong and he can take on the Hulk, nigga. Oh God, bro.
I mean, so yeah, that is a very important part of it. Sex is not the most important part of a relationship or a marriage for that matter, but having a special bond and that kind of connection with your partner, that's the most important thing.
Yes.
One, as men, we kind of get comfortable. When we first meet a woman, we see her like, oh, okay, she look good, she got this, she got that. We go talk to her. We get, wherever we get with the conversation, leads to friends, start dating, sex comes into it automatically for the most part in most relationships. Now, say y'all keep doing good, y'all end up getting married, and then you start to slowly stop dating your wife.
That's just
Stop
you
showing her
hit the nail on the head. You have to still date your partner.
Still date them, still show them the love and affection and everything, but at the same time,
We get comfortable.
yeah, men get comfortable. Like really, shit, I'll admit, I get comfortable as fuck. So, my wife will tell you, I get comfortable as hell. Yeah. But at the same time, it's like, yes, I have 1,000 things to do. Yes, we have children together and all this other stuff. But at the same time, it's like, shoot, you don't take me on dates no more. You don't do this no more. I was like,
you're right.
yeah, so like you don't really think about it until they actually say something about it. And so if they don't say anything and you start going through the motions and like you go to work, you come home, you eat, you play with the kids, you go to bed.
Right.
Same thing, Monday through Friday.
It becomes a normal thing at that point.
Yeah.
Right.
So the main thing, we're gonna go to the next one because we're gonna keep going about this one for a while. So kind of close this one out. Overall, none of us necessarily agree with his statement. I do agree with the first, but with it to an extent. But I would say that's for younger people.
Yeah.
People who don't know what they want, where they're at, and don't know, about how the relationship is. All of us, we all get it. We all don't agree with this. Isaiah would say 60-40.
I say 60-40.
So, hey, it is what it is. But
because real ones are rare.
That's
like
true.
you can't say that there's a majority of real females or dudes. You know what I'm saying? It is rare just because of what people think is the cool thing to do.
That's the other thing is we are taught quantity over quality.
And what she said, like with these songs, and it's these people who are who have like a following and people really do idolize them. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it's just weird how
the shows, it's the music, it's all this stuff.
Everything. I was gonna say that.
Yeah, it is, and it sucks because there's no role models. We talked about that last show,
True.
And there's no real role models out there that these youngsters can look up to, and that's these young girls and these young guys, and it sucks. There's no one.
And they purposely promote this stuff. Like they're not going to promote some real stuff. They want to promote the stuff that's nasty and dirty and
they promote what sells.
Right.
Yep.
Nobody's going to listen to the good story. Everybody else. It's just like with gossip. Nobody cares to hear about the good stuff. I want to hear about gossip and rumor and what's wrong. What are you doing that's bad? Nobody wants to hear the good stuff.
You know what I'm saying? Drama sells.
Mm-hmm.
Drama sells, sex sells, crazy. Anything that's not good sells.
Right.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But we're going to keep moving, and so we're going to introduce a new topic or a new segment called our Black Business Minute. We kind of go over, different businesses, whether they're here or a different place, kind of give them a shout out and whatever. And for this one, we actually have a few, but Brittany.
Yes.
You have a fitness little thing you've been doing. You mind telling us about how that works and how people can actually join you in doing that?
Oh yeah. So I created a weight loss beverage, you guys. And basically, I have 23 ambassadors right now, but I have about 6 confident people actually doing my journey on my Facebook page, and we're just kind of following each other. But basically, I'm trying to see if my drink is something before I distribute it. So I'm trying something new, but I lost 30 pounds in a month. I was drinking this beverage. It has a lot of awesome things in it. So the recipe's out there because I have the ambassadors with it. But I'm just curious to see if I really have something here. So I'm advertising it right now. I'm on a journey. So if you were to watch my page, I'm actually doing the 30-day challenge. I took a before picture, and after 30 days, I'm going to show my results. And that's just that. I'm just trying to really stay strong on what I have and see where it goes.
Is that the only thing that you're consuming, or are you consuming other products as well, or food, or how is your?
Oh yeah, I'm promoting healthy eating. Like I have a recipe book that people can download. That I haven't launched yet. Right now, I'm just, having some ambassadors test it out before I start creating. I've created a program, but before I create a program, I want to test it out with a few people to see if I actually have something. So I definitely promote healthy eating and low carbs, high protein, and just working out at least 30 minutes a day. With my program, you can go hard, or you can, if you don't go hard, I recommend walking for at least an hour in a neighborhood or doing something active for an hour. You can clean the house for an hour. But I definitely suggest just moving around. I suggest some supplements that really works with me as well with the tummy weight loss area. But yeah, I'm just trying to help women get back to themselves and feeling confident in their body type, not necessarily trying to get skinny, but feel comfortable with their body type, whatever that body type may be. And yeah, it's kind of just where I'm at right now, just trying to motivate other women.
So where can people follow you or get more information about?
I'm so bad at this, I'm sorry. So you can find me on www.fitbitbrit.com if you want to know a little bit more about me or join my program. You can you can just have access to the ambassador page on there, just sign up. Or you can follow me on Facebook or Instagram at fitbitbrit Fitbit_Brit. So, yeah.
So the first one is www.fitbitbrit.com? Okay.
It's the same thing.
Hey. Thank you for the shout out. I didn't even think about that.
I told you, you gotta be ready for anything.
Hey, y'all got something for weight gain? What's happening? No, only for weight loss, huh? Y'all, weight gain.
Do some masking or whatever that powder stuff is. No. Alright, so we're gonna move on to the second part of this. I just noticed they both said 90%, which is interesting.
Yeah.
So the second part of this says, remove money from a relationship and you'll discover that over 90% of ladies won't see a reason to be in that relationship.
And that's one that I was
okay.
like,
So before y'all start going
That
off,
is not true.
right, that's when I was like,
That's
I
Hell,
know,
half these niggas out here ain't got no damn
I know
money.
so many women
Right.
that will, they will literally carry this man.
On they back.
Take his kids
Yeah, you
in,
sound passionate
house
about that, like,
him,
from
everything.
experience.
Like, so
I ain't never carried
that
no nigga, but
clearly,
I'm just saying.
right, that clearly is not a true statement at all whatsoever. I mean, is it? That's more the other way. It's at 10-90 versus his 90%. Because
What a woman would do for a nigga,
yes.
it ain't even questionable. It ain't even up for discussion, to be honest.
Like a lot of
Like-
times you ask females, you're like, well, why do you put up with? Because of how he makes me feel. Like you got to get into a woman's mind, like really get to
How many
her
women
mind.
have stayed with these niggas when they go do long times in jail and shit? Like,
whose fault is that?
what do you mean? Whose fault?
What for his
When she stays?
his statement?
No, not a statement. She said when women stay with dudes who are doing a bid.
Because she loves him.
Yeah, but say, cause
Straight
I'm
up,
sitting down
straight
for a
up,
little bit.
straight up.
You know?
Love definitely is. Well, love always wins.
We can all honestly agree. Women typically are way more loyal to their man than a man would be to
Hell
his woman.
yes, and it's not up for discussion.
That's
Hell
what-
no. The things women will do for a man is not equal to what a man would do for a
absolutely
woman.
not.
Hell to the
Well,
no.
like that statement you said earlier, if a nigga's broke but he's got a vision, you will find a woman that will hold you down until you maybe find your vision.
And it's hard to find a
Right.
man to date a woman and stay down and loyal
Right.
to a woman that ain't got nothing but got a vision.
Right.
You're right.
When you
Yeah,
get her,
right.
leave your ass for a while.
Right. Probably so.
Yeah.
Question about if you take money out of a relationship, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so this was interesting to me because this one hit me a little differently because another reason why I'm with my dude is because I was actually homeless one time. Like, really homeless out in the streets. Like, my mama wasn't there for me, my daddy wasn't there for me. I was at the side street of, like, the Rose Quarter one day, and I had nothing. And he had nothing because he was living with his mom and dad. So, the fact that that moment, he literally took me in that scenario. And when I say took me in, he didn't have no permission to take me in. He's like stuck me in his room. Like when I say I was living there for a while, and I would literally come over and say, like, his parents took me in after a while. They knew I was dating him, but it's like they didn't know I was living and creeping in the house for that long because he had that much love for me at that age. Then where I was like, oh wow, like I was just trying to get my shit together, and my mother was just had like relapsed, and my mom's a recovering addict, so I was going through a lot. So I had to like figure it out. I mean, my brother, my sister had left, so and there's other people in Portland that helped me out too. But it was just the thought of like that he was there for me when no one else was, and he was in high school. We both were in high school, and I was determined to finish high school. So it's like I finished high school, got into college, and he was still there. Like after I went to my freshman year, I decided, this isn't for me. I moved in with him in his dorm, meaning I was still trying to figure this out. And I found a job out there out in Salem because he was going to Willamette University. I got a job out there, and before you know it, everything just started going up from there. I got a job, started paying half the rent. It was just like, that took me. But then the table turned because then when I was doing good and he got kicked out, then he was living with me because I was independent and I was doing my thing. But it was just something about being there for each other when we had nothing is what I think made me realize we have something here.
So you guys have a very, very interesting story.
I mean, we was wild and bad, but yes.
Well, I seen y'all, so I know. But yeah, so I mean, y'all have a very special story. You're like the way, like you said, you look at it a little bit different because you, like you said, when you started, you basically were out in the street. He took you in, and then at some point he kind of fell off. But at that point, you were basically, doing your thing. You had your own, had your place and whatnot. So you basically kind of took him in a sense. You guys were dating the entire time, but at the same time, it's like it was kind of a full circle thing that happened between the both of y'all.
Yeah, but the crazy thing about it, I had never given it up to him. And when I had found out he had cheated on me at that time, I had left him. And I had left him with a man for a little bit more money. Actually, Randy, that's when I met you at this time. I met a different man. I was dating another guy, and he had a lot more money. His brother played on the Blazers, but he became very abusive. So then I was like, after I got abused, like I was in a domestic relationship with him, I literally had to leave. Like I had to plan my leaving because I was afraid to leave. Like I was stuck in it for a minute. And he was there. He was like, I was like, you know what? In my back of my mind, I was like, you know what? I was mature at that time, so I was just thinking like, man, he didn't hit me. Cheating wasn't that bad. Like that beats like beating me any day. So I went back to him, and before you know, we just been rocking ever since. And here we are. So it's like, and then I still never gave it up to him. It was, matter of fact, it was like maybe when I turned 20, but that wasn't his priority. And as soon as that happened, we had our daughter at 22. So it's just like, he was really big on finishing college, and then I was really big on just loving him because I felt like I didn't have nothing else going for me. It's just, he was there for me at that moment. So it's that he was my family. So it just became what it is today.
Right.
If that makes sense. Like, it almost was meant to be because we didn't necessarily know this was what it was going to be. And sex,